Hey everybody, it's Brad Killgore here with another episode of America's Best Shops. Here with my good friend Laura. How are you today, Laura?
Doing fantastic. Very happy for the warmer weather.
Good, good. I think it's about 80 degrees today. It might look a little different behind me because I am in Butte, Montana, and not the mountains of Colorado. So it's quite hot for Montana. And you said it's pretty warm there in Ohio?
It is. It's not as warm as it was, but we're hitting that 72 to 74 perfect type of days right now, but I'm still in
Yes,
the office.
it's still perfect weather.
Yes.
So, well, we are going to jump right in, and our subject today ties into content creation. We talk a lot about AI and how AI fits into our businesses these days and how quickly that's growing. And that will be part of what we're talking about today. But more so, what we're going to touch on is just how can you effectively and efficiently create content, whether you're using AI or whether you're just using video footage and some tips and pointers on that as well. Sound like a plan?
It does, because I think that's very, very helpful to your viewers and listeners.
That's right. And didn't you have some general ideas on the pillars of how this lays out?
Yes, I think that it's helpful to kind of come up with topics. And so as a small business owner, if I think the first thing to stop and think about is what information in big buckets, so we call them pillars, would you want to provide? And so some that we tend to use is the how, just like these videos. We wanted to give you gold nuggets that you're able to take and run forward with and say, that is very helpful. So the how. The second one would be the return on investment, ROI, or business strategy. What can you, again, take and help? What would be helpful for you in your business? We know you're already the expert, but what would move you forward in the manner that you like? And another one would be what's next. So that's one reason why Brad and I, we get together throughout the week, talk about what's out there with the industry. What are the new AI tools, or what else will we have to look at? That is huge. So the what's next. And if you kind of think of breaking it down, one pillar per week, yes, there's tends to be a fourth or a fifth week. We use that for a hot topic. So that would be the fourth pillar I would recommend, is a hot topic, because there's going to come a time during a week where you're like, wow, our customers might want to know about that. So consider if your team's bringing any frequently asked questions or something that's new to the market. That is a great way to blend that one in as another pillar.
I like how you lay that out because it makes it crystal clear to me of, kind of the different ways of, structuring and laying it out. Because for some people, they may do content where it's more on the fly. Other people would like to stack it where they're taking a dedicated afternoon to shoot some video or to produce some written content or images or whatever it is. And so there's lots of different ways you can do that. But I think the scheduling part of it is hugely important. And if you think about it, the internet in and of itself literally consists of words, images, videos, and that's about it. I mean, that's what the internet is. But, through that, then it's knowledge, it's how to's, it's all the different things. So when it comes to content for your business, you're creating videos, you are creating written content, you are, you know, taking photos. So some of the shortcuts for that would be if you're going to shoot some video, let's say you're going to stack it and you're going to take a couple hours in a day. If you all have uniforms or something, that doesn't maybe matter as much. But if you don't, then maybe take two shirts or two hats or whatever the case may be, and just, start shooting videos in chunks, take a long form or short form. I mean, you can always edit it down later. And with AI and some of the simple tools out there, you can do that pretty quickly and easily now. Wouldn't you agree?
I do agree. And I think that's a great recommendation, that if you have different hats, different shirts, to go ahead, because if you're on the flow, and especially if you're in your shop and you may or may not have some lights set up. I mean, these phones are amazing these days that you don't have anything need to really set up a big technical shoot, as we say. If someone's there to help you record, or if you know that your shop's quiet, that's huge. If you can crank out a few videos just by changing your shirt. Or does it really matter? I mean, whatever you're most comfortable with, as long as you're getting content, because it's authentic and it shows that you're the expert and you're sharing that knowledge.
Right. I think you hit it out of the park right there as far as storytelling, being authentic, sharing real life stories and experiences. That's what people like. That's what they're going to adapt to, or they're going to gravitate towards. So yes, those are huge ideas. So if you think about video, what if you were to just say, let's shoot some video, let's do some how-tos, let's do some pointers, tips, maintenance ideas, whatever it is, and let's just say one video. You shot one video and it was 9 minutes long. A couple of things to keep in mind is you want to have good sound audio. Like in this case, I'm just literally using a little earbud. So I'm right now I have an earbud in so that my sound is clear and what have you. And so that's something important. And then the other part is get some sort of a stabilizer for your if you're using your camera to shoot video. Get a little gimbal. You can get them from simple to elaborate. I know I have one that does all kinds of mechanical motions. It's like a little robot arm, and they're really even not expensive for those. So those are some of the things. But let's just say now that you've created a video, you can take that video and you can use different AI tools you can use a tool like I think it's called Video to Blog, to where you upload the video, you fill in a couple of blanks of details that you want to happen in that video, and then it will create a blog post, very nice, very clean and professional with screenshots and everything from that video content. You could also take that video and you could take the transcript of the video. Like if you put it on YouTube, for example, get a transcript of it, you could then take that into something like Gemini, ChatGPT, and you could have it create social media posts about that video, short pieces of it. There's just so many different angles you could go with it just by starting with the piece that's video content. Have you tried any of those, Laura?
Absolutely, and I'm glad that you mentioned the video to blog because that is a software. I know we're not affiliated with it, but it is a powerful thing that takes your ease of doing a recording. And even if you opt not to publish that particular piece of video, having it what you've said turned into a blog, you can publish that. So keep that in mind that in the end, you may want to re-record your video, but that's the nice thing now. Record, delete, and repeat if need be, but as you're building that content, just builds your library, it builds your presence, and it helps you be cited, especially with AI now. It really does pull you forward because you're keeping your content fresh and new, and it has a purpose.
That's exactly right. And when you and I were talking earlier, we were determining or talking about different things as far as, where you're going to shoot the video. Is it going to be in the back in the shop? Is it going to be outside looking at a vehicle? Is it in the front office, the customer service desk? Is it at your house? So there's lots of different angles of how you could shoot video, for example. But then one thing that you brought to mind was, involve your team members. Can you elaborate on that, like we talked about earlier?
I think, and actually, I'm going to even throw in there, just as you mentioned, going around the shop, those might be the pillars. You might say, let's do a video based on what happens in our office. You might want to do a video based on what happens in the bay, what happens out on the lot or with a car. And you may want to throw in one that has absolutely nothing to do with automotive, but it could be fun, like vacationing with your family or doing a long drive versus a short drive. And it could be more quirky. But to your point about bringing in the team members, one, a lot of team members have a lot of experience on video. They do it on their off time. So ask them if they'd like to help you. And when you get them involved, not only they may be more comfortable on camera, but two, that might give you a variety of people if that's what you choose. Or if you want to be the only person on video, they can join you, or they might actually just provide topics and ideas and conversations and again, stories. They may tell you what they did with this particular vehicle or what was their favorite vehicle to work on. So that fourth week, you might even go with like your favorite, car stories. And it might be, their first car they purchased or what they like to actually drive or what their dream car might be. Again, it might be kind of a different topic, but very engaging to the audience that they want to attract.
Right, right. Include your customers when you can into a video. They could give you a video testimonial. They could be telling you a story about how you helped them, whatever it is. Another piece that I thought about when it comes to video is we do a lot now with AI to where we use different software where we're creating a video clone of ourselves, of AI avatar, so to speak. Lots of different softwares out there, are pretty easy to spot. And so you create a talking head, so to speak, where it's me talking when I create it, and it's very realistic. But now I can just feed it scripts to say what I want it to say. I would say if you're going to do that, use it sparingly, meaning don't make that your only source. Have real life videos and real talking videos and real action videos. But this just gives you another channel or another avenue to where you can have even more video content by using an AI avatar type thing. You've heard of those, I'm sure.
Yes, I think that that's a great point because if you are absolutely terrified to be on a video, it does give you an option these days. And again, your content, you can feed it right in and it'll say and present your level of expertise. It's just you don't have to worry about being on camera. So that is an
Yeah.
avenue to explore.
Yeah, and they've gotten amazingly good, of how realistic they are. So when it comes to video too, there's different ways that some people like horizontal videos, some people like to shoot vertical videos. I personally think that younger people, and I'm not a young person, like it more vertical. I have always been a horizontal type video person for some reason. Maybe that's just because I like that better. I don't know. So think about that too, because when it comes to sharing on Instagram or YouTube Shorts, those types of things, TikTok, those are typically going to be vertical videos where it's a different frame type than a horizontal rectangular one. So
Yes.
that's something to be aware of.
That's a good point, and I know that one tip that we've provided in the past is that even though you may start horizontal, it gives you an opportunity to crop vertical, even when it comes to shorts, and if you use Opus Clips or another software that might be out there, they will take horizontal videos. Because even as we record on Zoom or right today we're on Riverside, we know that it's gonna be a horizontal view, that it's no problem to go vertical. The other way around is a little bit more difficult.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I kind of forgot that tidbit because yes, if you record it horizontal, then you can convert it much easier to a shorts type one versus, doing it the other way around. So I
Yes.
think that's hugely important. But at the end of the day, start with video, kind of lay it out with the pillar ideas that Laura shared and just jump in because like anything, I can look back on videos I made 15 plus years ago, even 20 years ago. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that was rough. But you know what? I just put on my happy face and I did it. And that's really all you got to do because nobody's going to be a rock star the very first thing you do. And honestly, you don't have to have your face in the video. Lots of ways
That's
you can
very
do
true.
it without your face. So
Yes, the thinking about older videos, yes, I would pack up and I would go to a specific location and make sure the lighting and then it was very, very hard to get any videos published because I spent too much time worrying about the production of them, and so I am so, so glad that we have these advantages with our cell phones, our laptops. We have many different advantages that we can just go ahead and hit record when something is on our mind, when we just finish with a customer or client, we can say and take and put that you can make it general if you like, or Brad, you brought up a great suggestion of actually having that conversation with your customers in order to get their case study or their video testimonial. That's wonderful.
that's right. You can go live, right from your phone onto Facebook, onto YouTube. I think
Yes,
Instagram has one. I think TikTok too. So you could literally just go live and it could be raw and real and relevant just right out of the box, or it can be more polished. But my gosh, with the inexpensive ways to use AI tools to supercharge your videos, add emojis, add B-roll, add logos, fix them up and pretty them up, it's insanely easy now compared to how it used to be. So if you like that kind of stuff too, or if you got somebody on your team or your grandkid or your kid, you know, make them fancier if you want to. But at the end of the day, it boils down to quality content, consistency, and taking the time to connect with your audience. So, anything else you can think of?
I just think that's exciting how you're encouraging them to share their stories. And I just made that note of raw, real, relevant. I think those should be those three R's that we should all keep in mind. And then again, if you reflect on the pillars, it makes it easy to say this topic we can cover and it's not as daunting. So you have a lot of
Yes.
gold nuggets here. I'm glad that you covered as much as you did.
Well, I think we covered it together, and I appreciate you joining me. So, with
Thanks for
that,
having
we'll wrap. Yeah. With that, we'll wrap up this week's episode of America's Best Shops. And like always, share, like, tell your friends about us, and we'll catch you next time.